Hey, Ryan with Shootwise. Today I'm excited. We got the new Ruger Mark IV 2016. This is the newest Mark series, the Mark IV. If you're not familiar with the Mark pistols, they start off with the Mark I or the Standard or the Unmarked Mark. A lot of different names for the first model or first generation. They started the Marks in 1949. They discontinued the Mark I in 1981. This is the Mark II, which replaced it. They started production of the Mark II in 1982. They continued with this pistol all the way to 2005. And then we got the Mark III. The Mark III they made from 2004 all the way to today. They still make this particular firearm today for the Mark III. And now we have the Mark IV. This is a pretty cool firearm. We're going to get into the features of each one of these firearms. We're going to get a little closer view of each one. Alright, we're going to start with the Ruger Mark I. This is the original manual, Ruger Mark I, target model and standard. Very simple manual here. Actually has a parts list on the back. As you can see, the pricing on each part on the right hand side. Parts were quite affordable back then. Still have the warranty card for it. And here is the Ruger Mark I. Now the Ruger Mark I, this just is the standard, so it has the standard sights. They're non-adjustable. Alright, this has the traditional European mag release. So you have to toggle this back, then the magazine will release out. This magazine is going to hold 9 rounds of .22 long rifle. Now, the bolt does not lock back on the last round on the Ruger Mark I. Now, you can lock the bolt back on the Ruger Mark I using the safety. When you pull the bolt back, lift it to the safety position, that will lock the bolt back. Now once you put a fresh magazine into the firearm with ammunition, you can just hit the safety straight down. It will send the bolt home and you will be loaded, ready to go. That is the Ruger Mark I. Next up, Ruger Mark II. These are in the plastic boxes. They did not come with the .22 Thunderbolts. I just like how they got this little spot here, and 3 boxes of .22 Thunderbolts fit perfect right there. They also send you this little Ruger lock. It's got a Ruger logo on it. Owner's manual. Now this particular firearm is not factory. This one is actually my range gun. I keep this in my range bag. I use this a lot. Still dirty from last time I used it. Don't clean this one often until it pretty much stops working. Now, as you can see on the Mark II, it does lock back on the last round. So the bolt locks back on this one. It does still have the European mag release on these. So you hit the lever there, magazine's going to come out. This magazine is going to hold 10 rounds of .22 long rifle. Another upgrade that they did on this particular firearm, the bolt release. You just hit that on the side. Mine's extended. That's not factory. That's a modification I did. Also, it has adjustable sights. So you can adjust for elevation and windage on this one. Safety is still the same. Now I do have an upgraded trigger on this. This has the Volcaution trigger on it, but that is a Ruger Mark II. Next up, the Ruger Mark III. Comes with the owner's manual. The box is very similar to the Mark II. They come with this super big padlock. You want to make sure your gun is very safe. Also comes with a top rail, which I really appreciate that Ruger does that on the Mark IIIs. They did not do that on the Mark IIs, some of the Mark IIs were drilled and tapped, but the Mark II I have is not. Mark III. Mark III, they did a lot of changes. They have this load indicator on here, which when you have a round in the chamber, let's see if I can get it to move here, it actually comes out and it has a little red symbol there to let you know that the firearm has a round in the chamber. I think that's an unnecessary feature, but they do have it. They do have the bolt lock and bolt release. Safety is still in the same position on the Mark III. You're going to notice that the magazine release is different. It's now a button style magazine release. So you hit the button, it releases the magazine. Now you have to pull the magazine out the rest of the way. It does not drop freely. Now this also has a magazine disconnect, which means the gun will not fire when the magazine is out of the firearm. It is drilled and tapped right there for a scope mount. If you want to put a scope or a red dot, you have that capability. Now, the new Ruger Mark IV. First one we're going to start off with is the Hunter. Comes with the Ruger manual. Ruger Mark IV. Get that in focus. All right, Ruger Mark IV. They did a lot of changes on this one. Still has the adjustable sights and the drilled and tap, just like the Mark III was. Does have the bolt lock on the last round. Does have the slide release. You can tell they slightly changed it. They made it a little larger, so it's going to be easier for your finger to find. Similar modification that I did like on my Mark II with the extended bolt release. The safety, they actually did change it. It's much larger. Also, for the southpaws out there, they made it ambidextrous for left-handed shooters. So you can activate it on the opposite side. Alright, now the magazine release is like the Mark III. It's a button style. You press it, magazine shoots out. The magazine drops freely in this one. They actually have a little spring right here that's going to assist the magazine on exiting the firearm when you hit the magazine release. Now the Mark IV does take the same magazines as the Mark III. The Mark I and the Mark II are different magazines. The Mark III magazine is the same as the Mark IV. So this is the Hunter, which has the fiber optic sight, the fluted barrel, Only thing that's better than one Mark IV, two Mark IVs. This is the Target. Now, as you can see, the Target is a shorter barrel, but it is a bull barrel, not fluted. Also has the black grips instead of the wood grips. This is got Target sights. It is drilled and tapped. Both of these marks do not come with the rail. You will have to buy the rail separate if you want to put a scope or a red dot on there. This does have the safety on there, but one thing that we did do is we figured out how to remove the left-handed side safety. Something that we noticed when you operate the safety, if you're a right-handed shooter, the safety runs into your hand. It kind of puts the safety into like a limbo area where it doesn't exactly go down because it's hitting your hand on the opposite side. So we removed it. So you take the grip off. There's a little Allen screw there. You remove the Allen screw, take off the safety, put the Allen screw back in. The grips hold everything into place, and you don't have that issue of the safety running into your hand anymore. Pretty cool gun. Let me show you how to take one of these apart. If you're familiar with the Ruger Marks, they are very difficult to take apart. As you can see, this one comes apart very easy. One of the cool upgrades that they did to the Ruger Mark IV. So that's the Ruger Mark IV. Pretty cool gun. It takes apart pretty easy, as you can see. If you have the Mark I, Mark II, or the Mark III, which is probably the hardest one to take apart, put back together, you know how awesome this feature is about this firearm. It's probably the best thing they ever did for the Mark series. I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of my next firearms in the future. I can't wait to own one, go shoot it at the range, and just have a blast, shoot several thousands of rounds through this one. I think I'm going to go with the Hunter. I don't own a fluted barrel Ruger yet, so I think I'm going to go with that one. Pretty cool gun. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Hope y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching.